about Florida's standards and the local history in the standards. I specifically mentioned how students at a suburban high school who were at a protest for George Floyd in 2020 had absolutely no idea that Martin Luther King was arrested in St. Augustine in 1964. And that was the same county where they attended schools. These were Ivy League students. These were students going to great universities. I guess my question is, what can local journalists do to, especially those of us in Florida, to encourage our editors to include these true things?
Sure. I want to emphasize there's a story in the Bible where the disciples are out in the sea and they're fishing all night and they're not able to get any fish, and then Jesus just shows up on the shore. And there's two different stories, but in one of them he says, you need to go deeper. You need to go further out and cast your nets. And I just want to emphasize that for our black journalists, so oftentimes we don't go deep enough. We have this year in Birmingham and throughout the state of Alabama a series of anniversaries, 60-year anniversaries. Coming up on September the 15th, there will be the anniversary of the bombing of the murder of 4 little girls at 16th Street Baptist Church. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson will be the keynote speaker on September the 15th. I hope you all will come back for that date. But there's a series of things that are leading up to that. There's a healing conference that's being done that week, September the 12th to the 13th, that's organized by Historic Bethel Church. We're going to have Eddie Glaude, Dr. Eddie Glaude from Princeton University is going to be here, sponsored by the Ballard House, which is a historic home here in Birmingham. You'll all show up presidential year 2024 in Selma, Alabama, to watch everybody fight to see who will be on the front line throwing elbows as they try to cross Edmund Pettus Bridge. But there was a tornado that hit Selma, Alabama on January 12th, just a couple of months before Bloody Sunday of this year. And there is a serious story about what is happening in Selma, what is happening in Birmingham, what is happening in Montgomery. And we have to begin to go deeper and begin to go and to reach into the resources that we have within our community. No, I'm not talking about seeding the public sphere, but we need to embrace and go deeper in the same way that I'm a pastor, my rabbi friends, they don't expect that Hebrew school is going to be taught in the public schools on Monday through Friday. That's a responsibility that they take from one another. And I just want to call upon our black journalists. Don't just show up for the big moment that we're told that this is the time that we're supposed to remember. We have the anniversary of the 60-year anniversary of the March on Washington in August. Everybody will be there to report how few people are there relative to were there in 1963. But there are so many other stories, and I just want to encourage and urge to connect with the activists and the organizers that are still in St. Augustine, Florida. I remember when I was in college, I rode on a bus with Bernard Lafayette to Augustine to go to meet with the people who were there, who had organized. And it wasn't just Dr. King that got arrested. It was a horrible failure in terms of what the movement was doing, because the police chief wasn't quite Bull Connor enough, wasn't racist enough in order for them to make the kind of gains that they wanted. And there are so many complexities within our movement, the backstories, that what lies underneath. And I would just encourage all of our journalists, and I know it's difficult because you're working for white institutions and white newsrooms and white corporate media, and it is so difficult to be able to stand up in a certain way. But I'll say to you that there are stories to be told. There are resources to be tapped. There is genius that is available to inform the narrative that we are putting out there in mass media today, and we look forward to working with you.